So this video is going to be a little bit different than some of the other, well, any of the other videos that I've done. This video was taken in El Paso right around the time that I broke down. I was stuck in a hotel. At first, relatively annoyed with the alarm that kept going off, and so I'd pick up my camera and I started recording it. Not exactly sure what this guy's doing, but very interesting. He just broke the window, started throwing stuff all over the place, rifling through this vehicle. People have walked by him or driven by him and haven't really said or done much, so I would imagine the police may have been called. Perhaps I could, but I don't really necessarily want to mess with it, because he certainly doesn't seem to be trying to hide anything. Interesting.
Probably just somebody who's having a bad day. I can certainly appreciate that.
The reason that I decided to go ahead and put this video together is because what I would like to be able to say to you guys right now. I was sitting in the hotel room in El Paso. My car broke down and I was basically stuck there. I was, for all practical purposes, hostage. The vehicle had to be fixed. There was no way around that. It did not run, so obviously I couldn't leave it like that. While I did have an opportunity to travel around El Paso a little bit while I was there, because I did have a loaner vehicle, thankfully, at least to get groceries and prepare for what I needed, and also to be able to return to the shop whenever they were finished. I spent some time editing, and so I spent some time in the hotel room, and this alarm kept going off, and so I would get up and I would take my phone and just go over and record it. And I originally anticipated that it was something that was nefarious, I guess, is for lack of a better term, and so I expected the police to show or whatever, and it would be a relatively quick ordeal. It wasn't. It was a 12-hour ordeal. You'll see, I didn't record 12 hours worth of footage, just a couple minutes. But the reason that I wanted to do this video, or at least, get this video edited and get it out, was because of how close I felt to this individual at the time that it was going on. I felt like I was basically hostage because my vehicle broke down. I didn't have a choice. I had to get it fixed. And I'm not going to go into detail on this individual's circumstance, but as you'll see, very, very evident, you'll see that he was extremely frustrated. I did later find out what the reason was that he was so frustrated, and I explained that in the video, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. But having my vehicle broke down and being stuck there, and I kind of started to eventually, kind of come around, nothing bad was going on. It was just an individual who obviously was having a very bad day. And a couple of things that I want to follow up after the video that are a little more personal nature. So if you want that information, or you want to hear that, then you would need to stick around towards the end of the video, because I would like to kind of open up a little bit more than just the frustration that I was feeling with the breakdown in El Paso, and what was going on with me as this individual was struggling with his circumstance. And what I would like to do, if nothing else, right now, I would like to ask, it would be a big help on my videos if I was able to get more interaction from you guys. Likes, dislikes, those are quick and easy. Like, dislike, whichever you prefer. If you have suggestions that you'd like to see on the video, or suggestions on things that I can do with my build, or that I can add to or take away from, or whatever, any suggestion is welcome, and I respond to all suggestions now. And also just something to the effect of like word of mouth. If you would share the video, or share it with friends, or say, as friends and family, there's a friend or family member that has this YouTube channel, and why don't you check him out, and just see if we can maybe build the channel that way. In many cases, a lot of what I'm asking really doesn't take that much time, so I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider it.
I had the window open, but you can't see through the screen, so noise doesn't really matter. And I would imagine that there's probably going to be some police officers here soon. I wonder if this car that is next to him has anything to do with it. But license plate on the one that looks like it's being broken into, NCW 8409. Car next to it's PJT 0979. And I don't know. So you can see the glass at his feet right there. It's very, very odd that there hasn't been any response, a significant response anyway, from anybody. I would imagine that dude with the bike parked next to him would be a tad bit concerned. And interestingly enough, I'm not even the only one watching. That guy's the guy that drove the black car. He just walked away. But this guy over here, he was sitting in the window eating, grabbing a bite to eat there. Let's see what this guy has to say. See, people are just driving by like nothing's going on. Dude's parking next to him and everything. Now he's got a buddy that joined him. He's actually leaning on the window that just broke. There's glass all over the ground there. Doesn't seem to be too concerned. Very, very interesting. Take 22, not real sure how long this is going to go on, but after how many hours? It's now dark and the fire department has showed. The police have not arrived, haven't seen them at all. And I think they were trying to get him out of the vehicle and couldn't. I'm not sure what the circumstances are behind that, or if in fact, he's in there or whatever. But wow. Yep, he's in there. He's thinking, can I reach in? think I see a movement. You gonna open? Maybe not. Nope. Looks like they've given up. I don't know. That is the strangest circumstance I've ever seen. First time the police arrive. Very, very interesting that it's this late, but whatever. Interesting. I don't think they're having any more luck getting this person to open the door. Not real sure what their intentions are, but the police officer is backing away and going I don't know where. Looks like they're just leaving. Interesting. And they may not actually be leaving, but they're not at the location of the vehicle anymore. So, see if they're calling for backup, maybe. Nope. Adios. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Man, you can't make this shit up. And what is that laying next to it? I'm gonna back this up just a little bit. What is going on out here? Seriously. That guy's back in the back seat. And I can't tell what that is. And meanwhile, this alarm has been going off and on and off and on for close to 12 hours now. Cops have been here? Oh. Whatever. EMS? Fire department? He's still digging stuff out. I saw him flinging a dog bed earlier, so I imagine he's working his way back into it, but what the heck? In his defense, on the day following, he is cleaning up the glass that was broken. I don't really know what the story was, but he did end up getting a room in the hotel. And the manager over there said that he doesn't have the key to the vehicle, and that's why the alarm is going off unchecked. It's probably just somebody who's having a bad day. I can certainly appreciate that.
And the biggest drawback to being in El Paso and then getting the information that I received for what was wrong with or what needed to be fixed with the Xterra, it turned out, and again, everything that was done on the vehicle was done because it had to be done to get the vehicle running. Again, it was towed in. And I have done, preventive maintenance and things like that. So those are ongoing things. If it needs oil add, or if it needs an oil change, or when an oil change is scheduled, then that's taken care of. The tires are starting to get worn, so I'm really concerned about that, because that's another expense, a major expense that's going to have to be done, especially with the roads that I traverse. There are many passes, the dirt roads or otherwise, where the tires need to be aired down in order to traverse, and then when you're done, aired back up. Regularly, I have a compressor, and I have a rapid tire deflator that I can use relatively quickly on the side of the road before I get onto a trail. So as I'm going over passes or whatever, at least I'm working on getting the tire pressure mitigated so that I don't bust a tire or blow a tire on a trail. And I'll go across some rocks where, as you roll across some of those rocks, that is a distinct possibility. So again, with the tire tread getting relatively low, I am considering that as an aspect as well, and that kind of leads me to the point that I have with El Paso and getting the vehicle back on the road, is that it hit my savings account in a major way. And I don't know I know that in the video when I mentioned it, when I broke down, Stranded, I believe, was the name. I think I probably mentioned the total matter-of-factly, like, I think it was $6,700 or whatever the total was. Whatever, it's taken care of. Now, that was a huge hit on my savings, and that is something that I need in reserve. That is something that I need to have available and not touch. And I'm going to be able to recoup half of that, hopefully, in September, October, possibly into November, but more than likely not in North Dakota. I'm going to take part in the beet harvest. They have, it's a migratory thing, basically, and it is in colder weather, which I'm more comfortable working in colder weather. Layer up and work in North Dakota end of September, beginning of October, hopefully only through October, not into November, and then I'd be able to head back south and continue my regular journey, and that'll probably get me half of what I lost whenever I had to spend the money in El Paso. So that's something that's coming up. And other than that, I live on my VA benefits. That's it. That's basically what I'm doing. I have foregone working, so to speak, other than obviously what I'm doing now, but foregone working primarily so that I could do what I'm doing right now. And this is actually to build a legacy. The reason that I'm doing this is because I have a love of traveling. I am very interested in history, so I like finding interesting locations and trying to dig up a little bit of historical aspect of that location, and then talk to locals, talk to people who have information that I can get, and implement that into the videos to make them a little bit more interesting, hopefully. And again, suggestions, bring them, let's go. But it's to build a legacy. I'm doing this so that I have something that I can give my son, whether it's the videos themselves, or if it ever decides to generate an income, that can also be something that I can pass along to my son. And I am also now a grandfather as of July, so pass on to my granddaughter. And so that's what I'm doing. That's basically why I'm here, and that's what I'm doing. And I am living on my VA benefits and what little bit of savings that I have now, and what I'm going to be working towards building up. And then there are other opportunities, migratory type opportunities that I'll look into, and I can continue to try to bolster the savings so that I can absorb a hit like the one that I had in El Paso again. They always come. Whether it's that large or a couple of small, like my solar panel. I bought a brand new 220 watt solar panel that I'm definitely not going to advocate for. Dokio, D-O-K-I-O, Dokio. It was a 220 watt solar panel. It came with a charge controller and the adapters so that I could plug it into the Jackery. And that's the reason that I chose that one, because it was the only one that I could buy that I didn't have to buy additional accessories for. And so here we are. The wind blew it over. Now, it didn't just fall right next to where it was. It blew it a distance, a relatively significant distance, much further than I would have liked to have seen it fly. And the only reason that it did that was because it was sort of windy like it is right now, but not as consistent. And then there was a gust of wind that hit that just poof, just lifted it up and blew it several feet. Right now it's bungeed, and no matter what, I'm going to bungee it. But for whatever reason now, instead of getting the 170, 180 watts in whenever I've got direct sunlight, it's maxing out at like 60 or 70, maybe 80, so less than half. So I believe there's 4 panels. I believe 2 of the panels are just completely inoperative right now, or inoperable. And I emailed Dokio to see if I can get some respite on this, and I haven't heard anything. I don't know if I will, and I have to get it resolved because I don't have enough solar from the 100 watt solar panel to keep the 1000 and the 500, my power supply, what I need for computers, charging, cameras, phones, etc., things like that. All of the things that I need to be able to do. That and the refrigerator. I mean, if my Jackery doesn't get charged to an adequate level, then at night, through the night, it could just shut my refrigerator down, and then everything inside is gone. So that's an issue that I'm kind of working on. So again, trying to put out those little fires when they start adding up and it equals the bigger fire. If you're not doing anything to kind of supplement your income, then you're not doing the right thing. And so I'm working towards supplementing my income, building my savings back up, and cutting back on expenses as much as possible instead of being able to drive as much as I was able to. Everybody knows that the gas prices are absolutely ridiculous right now. I'm paying more than double what I used to pay to fill this up. And so traveling the distance that as often as I would like to, that's not an option anymore. So I have to stay put a little bit longer. That means, well, it may be a good thing because or at least I feel like I am working more towards getting some good quality footage. I'm also getting a lot of what I refer to as B-roll footage, which goes on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And if you're not following me, Stoops, there it is on all of them. I was able to get the website StoopsThereItIs.com. Email address is StoopsThereItIs2020 when I started this at gmail.com, and then I have Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all Stoops There It Is. So anyway, it would benefit, or it would help me a lot if word of mouth got out and I was able to build this channel up organically. Then that would make a big difference in whether I was able to get monetized. And of course, if I'm able to get monetized, then there are some philanthropic opportunities that I have that I would like to be able to take advantage of, not the least of which Project 22, which basically supports veterans, and primarily those veterans that are considering suicide. There's suicide hotlines, there's resources available, counseling, things like that they take care of. And so I would definitely like to continue to give to them, but give a little bit more. In fact, I have been giving Project 22, I've been giving $22 a month for over a decade now. And every little bit helps, but that would give me an opportunity to do a little bit more. That and house the homeless. Richard Troxel, good friend of mine in Austin, does a lot of work with homeless, and I was always kind of an advocate for veteran homeless, and technically I am a homeless veteran by choice, so I'm technically not homeless, I'm actually houseless, but nonetheless I am considered a homeless veteran. So there's also some work that I would like to be able to do in that venue. I've mentioned this before. I actually mentioned it whenever I thought that there was a possibility that I would be featured on Van City Van Life, Chrome Valdez's channel. And as you know from the previous video, that did not come to fruition, or at least it hasn't yet. I don't know if they have the footage and it's going to happen eventually or not. But I'm not gonna concentrate on that or rely on that. I'm going to just continue to do what I do and ask you if you would please help me in the ways that I've asked earlier. And I mean, at that point, I really feel like I've kind of said everything that I need to say. And if you want to open up dialogue, if you will, then I'm obviously willing to discuss that further. So other than that, I just wanted to wish you guys all the best, always.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All the best, always.
Wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel, can you dig it, fool? Can you dig it?